Yeah, might as well start the recording. I don't know why it looks like I've got a bad toupee on, but
That's a great way to start. Welcome, everybody. Did you get a haircut?
some. I had like this Dr. Wiley shit going on the sides, so I had them trim it down, and then everything that it was holding upright just it fell, so it all looks weird.
Oh man.
This is
Well,
an improvement over the initial though. I had like that '90s Rider Strong butt part, like flowy Boy Meets World hair going on. It's kind of awesome. Daisy doesn't
nice.
like it, but
Man, so Hell in a Cell, that was something.
sure. um, I will right out of the gate. I will say that Bianca and Bailey was better than I expected. Um, that's that may be the best thing I can say about this show.
Yeah, no, I actually, and we'll get to this in a moment, but what I liked about Bianca and Bailey, there were some big spots like with some weapons, and I felt like nothing obviously will live up to Undertaker Mankind like that as far as like brutality, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that gets close, and this is probably one of the more extreme women's matches I've seen in the cell. I think, um, and I liked that there was a definitive ending
Yes.
like there should be on. I don't know. I mean, I know not every match is in the cell on this pay-per-view, but I do not like these bullshit endings.
Yeah.
So
And we'll just go ahead and hit the other cell match as well. It was good. Like you
yeah.
said, it's there. There's a standard that is set like right out of the gate. They set that shit way up here, and to get to Foley and Undertaker level, it takes a lot. Usos and New Day got real close a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's just one of those things. But I mean, Drew and Bobby beat the shit out of each other. Uh, I mean, those welts on Drew's back, they were gross Sunday night, and they looked even worse on Raw Monday. Um,
Who was
so
it that Sheamus fought back at I want to say Royal Rumble because I was watching again, so that hasn't been a while. Like I just remember that match just being incredibly hard hitting, and that kind of it was like I was thinking while I was watching, I was like, this is getting close, but not to the level that Cesaro was really beaten up. Maybe it wasn't for the U.S. Championship. Maybe am I thinking was it for the WWE Championship? Would have been against Drew.
no, because Sheamus never completely got a solo title shot. Like
Okay.
when he finally got that match, it was triple threat. Um, or no, they
Well,
put him in elimination chamber. So I don't
oh,
think he ever got the singles match. But
okay.
yeah,
Maybe I'm thinking I don't know which match I'm thinking about, but I mean if you've seen Sheamus go at it, it's like there's definitely some matches where he's very stiff and I was just thinking it's like, oh, like if Sheamus was in here with Drew, this would get real crazy real fast.
oh
Not
yeah,
saying that Lashley is a lightweight at all, like, they definitely went at it, but there's just another level that I think Sheamus can bring in that situation.
yeah,
So,
agreed.
but why we're here, the roll up of doom, man. That's how we're
I,
gonna end a Hell in a Cell match now. So
I two yeah, two of your biggest matches on this card ended with a small package roll up.
yeah,
Seth got a win over Cesaro with it, and Drew lost to a roll up. After they beat the shit out of each other, a roll up ended the cell match.
yeah.
And somehow those weren't the two worst endings of the show. Uh, you can put somebody through the announce table, but if you accidentally pull the panel off the front of it, that's a disqualification. Um,
Yeah. I was warned before going into it by a friend of mine, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna hate this. Like, you're gonna hate the ending of this match." Just like, you know, otherwise it was an okay match, I guess. Like I feel like I've seen better from both of them, but maybe maybe they were already dreading the ending of this match, that they were both just kind of going through the motions. So
Yeah, I mean, the WrestleMania match where they inexplicably gave Charlotte Rhea Ripley's NXT title was a hell of a match. Um, the best part of the match was probably when Rhea acted like she didn't realize the match was over and went back in the ring and kept going.
yeah.
But yeah, I just inexplicable. You can throw people into the turnbuckle, you can crash them through the stairs, you can put them through the announce table, but you can't bump them with a piece of the announce table. There's no logic there. Like have her like I don't know, pull the commentator's chair out, and like knock her down with it or something. At least
Yeah.
then it comes across as a weapon. I don't know.
My only hope with all this is that Vince is getting this out of his system, like getting these like, oh, I want to get all the worst of my endings out of my system before we go back on the road, before we put this in front of live crowds. I know that's not the case, but like I really hope that somehow he's just like, oh, I gotta do a few more DQs and roll ups somehow. Like he's got a quota in his weird mind that he's got to do it. I would love to see them go back on the road and then just have like, I don't know, crowd pleasing endings to things. I know it can't be that way all the time. You got to build stories, but like you also just got to not be lame.
There's also the counter argument that, you know, and I'm working on the Young Bucks book, and they talk about how when the crowd turned on them, they just leaned into it and did it more and more and more. Every match at Money in the Bank, except for the ladder matches, will end in roll-ups.
Somehow the Money in the Bank ladder match will also end in a roll-up. We don't know how that's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So, oh man. Well, what else did we have? We had more matches here. We had Shayna Baszler versus Alexa Bliss. It went exactly how I thought it would go, I guess. I don't know.
I'm just going to forever refer to this match as the Voodoo Shit Show. I don't know what the weird puppetry thing was.
We got mind control now where Baszler slapped Reginald, which, you know, I feel like Vince was in the back like he was dying. He has the best time during this match. He thought it's some good shit, pal, right? So
yeah, I mean, it was nice to see Alexa actually wrestle when she wasn't doing all the stupid crap. But yeah, like I said on the prediction post, real world scenarios, Shayna Baszler murders her and then like walks away like nothing happened.
If you really wanted to do voodoo stuff, it's like she murders her and then like on the show, and then like, you know, 3 months later, she's just being haunted, and like people around Shayna, like Reginald and Nia Jax and stuff, they also like mysteriously disappear and stuff like that. You know, the ghost of Alexa Bliss is coming after them. If they're gonna do this, do it all the way. Let's have Shayna murder Alexa Bliss. Like,
yeah, I mean, Randy Orton constantly murders Bray Wyatt. Like. If we're just borrowing Bray's gimmick for Alexa, let's just lean into the shit and have her get murdered too.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's going to continue on forever, and we'll see some more of this. And then I think it's the only thing. We touched on Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. To me, there's nothing that really. I love both these guys. To me, there's nothing that. I didn't feel like this kicked into another gear for me, with the exception of a shout out to Pat McAfee. That guy, like, he can hype up anything, man. I haven't really heard much of him because I haven't been watching SmackDown, but it's that guy. I liked, just a side note here, I liked it when they were bringing up the SB Awards, I think. So SB Awards, that had the best WWE moment, where Cole was going down the list and Pat McAfee knew that him confronting Adam Cole was on that list, and the resignation of Michael Cole by the time he got to that thing was just probably one of my favorite moments of this pay-per-view, which is a weird thing to say.
No, I outside of what Roman is doing on SmackDown, the best part of SmackDown is it's Pat McAfee. It. I hope they never rein him in. I hope they get the deal worked out so that Pat McAfee goes on the road and I don't lose him. Um, he's otherworldly. Just anything that comes out of his mouth when Roman is on camera, it's gold.
Yeah,
Um, he's wonderful. I he is the best part of WWE right now, hands
yeah.
down. Um, and I can't remember what it was he said on the pay per view the other night. It was something that, uh, oh, crap, what was it? I don't know. Cage Side pointed it out too, so he's probably going to get reined in a little bit, but no, he's wonderful. He takes everything and makes it better.
We got, and then I think the last match we had on here that we haven't touched on, Sami Zayn defeated Kevin Owens. That with the match we've had a billion times. Always good. It's always good, but in this case, like Owens was basically selling, I guess, that throat punch he got from Aziz or something the other night. Is that Commander Aziz?
Yeah,
Yeah. And that really played into the win. And he was also like favoring his wrist the whole time, which actually I did think was maybe legitimate for a while. But I guess the word is that him taking some time off is kayfabe. But I mean, I do hope he actually takes some time off. I think that'd be good for him to do because he's been going pretty hard. So wouldn't be a bad idea, whether it's storyline or not. But
and when he takes some time off, they tend to bring him back not straight into a 10-match feud with Sami Zayn. So
yeah,
at least we'll get some new shit for a little while when he comes back.
yeah. It would be great if he. I know it would be a very short amount of time, but I almost kind of want like Cena to come in and then them just to like just do the original like Kevin Owens debut again. Just give him a pop-up powerbomb, even though I know he's not been doing that for a while. Like, let's just do it all again. Just pretend like it never happened a long time ago. Did you watch Raw?
I did. It surprisingly not bad.
And we got another Hell in a Cell match, right?
Yes, we got Kofi came out and challenged Bobby Lashley to a match for Money in the Bank, which inexplicably turned into a Hell in a Cell match between Bobby Lashley and Xavier Woods.
Okay.
No, I mean, I guess Bobby Lashley beating the ever loving hell out of Xavier Woods gives Kofi something else to fight for. But still, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
And USA was probably still on the phone with Vince going, you put Roman and Rey Mysterio in the cage on Fox. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But
we put our champion on in the cell. It's like, it doesn't matter who the other person is. They might as well just like, I mean, no offense to Xavier, but they, as far as like the equivalents and stuff, they might as well just book a squash match. Like, yeah, just against local talent, like Bobby Lashley versus local talent, please.
I mean, anybody would have been fine. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know you can't just throw Drew in there again, but I mean, well, Sheamus has a busted face, so I don't guess it could have been Sheamus. But I mean, anybody. It just felt. I know it's storyline to give Kofi a reason to go after Bobby harder, but I don't know. It didn't move the needle at all. Plus, the fourth cell match in as many days. That's just an awful lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the rest of the show was good. There were 5, and I was confused at first when they said it. There were 5 Money in the Bank qualifying matches on this show. 3 of them were men's singles matches. The other 2 were tag team matches for the women.
Okay.
Where the 2 winners both got in. So I guess there's going to be 8 women in the women's match.
Or they're only doing one more match.
Yeah.
Oh no, that wouldn't.
Yeah,
would that work out? Yeah, 6, right?
yeah, it wouldn't be even if they only did one match on SmackDown though. Then again, there's
Mhm.
only like 3 women left on SmackDown, so but yeah, I thought it was a little weird. You know, you've got all the men getting singles matches, and the women are just again booked into. You know, we're just gonna like half-ass this together. Um, we got some surprises. The matches on the men's side were let's see, who was it? Drew McIntyre versus Matt Riddle.
Mhm.
Randy Orton versus John Morrison, and AJ Styles versus Ricochet, which was a pretty good match.
Mhm.
And they used Ricochet picked up all of the guys you wouldn't think Vince would put in the Money in the Bank match were the ones that won. So Morrison, Ricochet, and Riddle are all going to Money in the Bank. The AJ Styles loss was to further set up the Viking Raiders AJ Omos feud, which I liked. They're not terribly good with continuity, but that worked for me. Um, in the women's matches, I wish I could tell you who won besides Nikki Cross. She's all I remember. Um,
Naomi and Asuka defeated Eva Marie and Dewdrop, which
yes.
is the worst name I think I've ever heard on WWE. I'm sure that's wrong. I'm pretty sure I've said this like multiple times. That's the worst name I've heard on WWE TV. But at least for 2021 and for at least a couple years back, it seems like the worst.
And for
Um,
somebody that was already established on NXT UK,
yeah, yeah. Uh,
like why?
and
But
that women's tournament. Oh, yeah, I can't find what are the other women's tag team match was.
oh, it's
Oh, is it?
Alexa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they teamed Alexa and Nikki Cross together. Nikki
Superhero
Cross,
Nuclear Cross.
yes, who debuted a very Hurricane esque look. Um, I like the spunk. I like that she's getting tons of TV time right now. They never have to put a belt on her. I'll be okay with it as long as they keep putting her on TV. Um,
She does to me have like somewhat of like a Mick Foley vibe, you know, like in like personality in the way she kind of comes off the screen a little bit. And then
yeah.
she like on one level always feels like even insanity always feels like slightly wholesome.
Yes.
like and no matter what, yeah, what she is a heel, a dirty heel, like insanity still comes through.
Well, that
Um,
that and you hear all the stories about like when the enhancement talent was being used as the crowd at tapings. You know, she was bringing in pizza for them so that they didn't have to
yeah,
stand around for 8 hours and not eat. And she seems great. She seems nice.
yeah.
Everybody seems to like her. So I'm glad she's getting some TV time. Um, but yeah, I don't understand the tag booking. Um, I don't understand the point of Eva and Dewdrop if Eva and Dewdrop were not going to end up in this match.
Yeah.
Seems a little weird, but yeah, it wasn't a bad episode of Raw because it was 90% wrestling. It wasn't bullshit, um,
Yeah.
which is the greatest praise I can throw at Monday Night Raw. Here lately. As long as it's mostly wrestling, we're good because the talent is still there. I'm glad to see Ricochet getting out of the 92 match feud with Ali on main event and getting a spot where he can be on a pay per view. Um, although he will inevitably be that guy that gets jumped and injured and they have to
Yeah.
replace him with Brock Lesnar. So, but yeah, no, it was a good episode of Raw. I was pleased with it. It was no NXT by any stretch, but it was a good episode of Raw.
We get the losers of those three men's matches, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles, on the next Raw for a triple threat last chance Money in the Bank qualifier. So
Oh, so maybe they're doing
one of
it.
those guys is gonna be bitten. But I think based on what you're saying on AJ, I don't feel like it's gonna be him.
No,
Um,
um, maybe Orton, so
yeah,
that if it's Orton, Matt Riddle's winning this thing. But just to to keep you on that, when is Randy going to turn on him thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I guess if they're doing a last chance match, that would be 4 from Raw. So I guess they're going to put 8 guys in the match too.
I think they're going to put 2 from SmackDown. And I think what's going to happen is that whoever's going to win this is going to be a Raw person or someone that might be on SmackDown and they'll get traded to Raw when we have the draft coming up. Which, I don't think there's really that restriction on that Money Bank contract really, but I think it's going to be something they're going to have on Raw. They're going to eventually use to challenge Bobby Lashley. I mean, I think with this last chance, there's a chance Drew McIntyre gets in there. And even though he can't challenge for it, he has a contract for the challenge. I don't know. That's me spitballing there, but who knows? We did have NXT. We'll talk about NXT. We'll be back on AEW back when they're back on their normal time. Back when we can kind of keep up with it better. I didn't get a chance to watch NXT this week. What any highlights that jumped out for you?
NXT was great. Adam Cole came out and said that he doesn't care if Samoa Joe's there. NXT is still his show. He's not going to pick an opponent. Why the hell would he pick an opponent and wrestle? He doesn't have to do that shit. Then he was confronted by a Carmelo Hayes, who I didn't recognize, but commentary talked him up pretty good. The match was great. Carmelo Hayes was awesome. And Carmelo Hayes, if you see nothing else from this week's NXT, Carmelo Hayes selling the Panama Sunrise, it was awesome. He spiked himself into the ground and basically stood on his head for a good 6-7 seconds. It was amazing. It felt like Dolph Ziggler. And that's the highest praise I can give somebody on selling moves. That was great. Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory, they won a tag match against Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan, only to get jumped and brutally beaten by Karrion Kross afterwards. So we are on the quick road to Karrion Kross, Johnny Gargano. LA Knight had a hell of a video talking trash about DiBiase and Cameron Grimes. That guy's $1 million. Like, I don't know how the hell this thing came together, but him and Cameron Grimes as part of this whole thing, it's wonderful. It just keeps getting better. Kushida and Kyle O'Reilly was a great match. I mean, they're both incredibly talented, and apparently from that, listening to the Young Bucks book on my way to and from Atlanta, Kushida and Kyle O'Reilly have a long storied history of matches, both together with the Young Bucks, that whole crew. And we finally, what was hailed as the highlight of NXT for this week, the Diamond Mine debuted. I didn't recognize the 2 other guys, but 3 other guys, but their leader is Roderick Strong. He got a haircut. He looks ready to whoop somebody's ass. And he is probably on a quick road to a cruiserweight title shot at Great American Bash. Yeah,
that'll be cool. What happened with that Kushida match? Like he lost, but he still has a championship?
Yeah, it was not for the cruiserweight belt. Kyle O'Reilly said that it didn't seem right to, since he was just given the open door to challenge whoever he wanted. He just wanted to wrestle the best, but he wasn't going to use it as an opportunity to take the title or anything.
Okay.
Kyle O'Reilly beat Kushida. Adam Cole came out and beat the hell out of Kyle O'Reilly. Diamond Mine showed up and beat the hell out of Kushida. And that was kind of where the show ended.
All right. Well, yeah, I'd like to see a Strong really step it up, and hopefully he does well running this faction himself.
I could see him really pulling off kind of a heel, like an American version of Imperium is what it seemed like to me.
Yeah. Just as long as he doesn't end up being start wearing bowling shirts like QT Marshall. So I think it will be okay. just looking forward here, as we're wrapping it up today, we've got a very busy weekend, Money in the Bank weekend. We have Saturday, July 17th. We have Slammiversary coming our way from Nashville, Tennessee. And then we have Money in the Bank, which I don't remember the city. Probably somewhere in Texas, right?
No, St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay.
St. Louis just somehow ended up with like a slew of wrestling shows now that everybody's back on the road.
Yeah.
They've got Money in the Bank, and then I think
Full Gear.
Full Gear is in.
Yeah, Full Gear.
Yeah, is in St. Louis as well. So I don't know what kind of tax incentives or what they've got going on, but damn, they're making the best of it.
We're just salespeople at these arenas, really trying to drum up some business. Like they just called AEW, WWE. I'm sure there's a bunch of concerts happening there.
Yeah, they were like,
let's
holy
recover
shit,
revenue, please.
Every concert has moved itself to 2022 already. We need something.
Yeah.
We will just let you have the arena. You don't even have to pay for the space. Just turn up.
Oh, wow. Well, our like I said, we'll have a very busy weekend coming up about a little less than a month from now, and we'll get on top of that. And beyond that, you want anything you want to promote this week?
I don't want to fully promote the Young Bucks book until I finish it, but it's pretty good so far.
Make sure there's not like a dusty finish at the end, the last chapter.
Yeah, that when they were talking about the PWG crowd turning on them, like I guess it's almost 10 years back now, because they just kept they started chanting, same old shit, because they just did the same shit all the time, and they just leaned into it and started just spamming super kicks, and like, they were like, well, whatever.
I mean, that's the whole time where they were like, "We're killing the business" type thing. Like they intentionally like rolled into the cornet like criticism against them.
Yeah,
so
like shunning Booker T and whatnot. Handshake gate is what they refer to it as.
Yeah.
No, it's not a bad. I've got it on Audible. The guy mispronounces some stuff, but I'm going to give him a pass because it's fine. It's mostly just names, so at least he says kayfabe right.
Kafab. It's like, is he saying kayfabe or is he saying? Yeah, there's something about his key fob for his car. I don't know. All right, man. Well, we'll keep up with everything wrestling and get back to you next week. That's a terrible tagline. I'm going to work on that later.
Like, subscribe. Tune in at some point early next week. I'm going to give a mind-blowing review of the new Fast and Furious movie.
All right, man. Take it easy.